Hi, I'm Michael Stickler. I am the publisher here at Leadership Books and 𝗕𝗲𝗰𝗵𝗵𝗹 Publishing. And today I have a very special guest, an author who is very close to my heart. And I so appreciate his desire to serve the Lord and to share the gloriousness of the gospel of Jesus Christ with people. He has written a tremendous amount of books. He's probably one of our most prolific authors. But today we're going to talk about two very special, well, actually a whole line of very special books. And we call them Because He Liked It series. So I want you to stay with me as we talk to Gerald Robison. Gerald, welcome to the Compendium Podcast.
Hello, Mike. What a great time to be here with you.
So let's jump in and just talk a little bit about these books and why you wrote them and why they're so special.
Okay. Well, I've always astonishingly admired God and his work, but I kept missing something until I came across a verse in the Bible that at the end of time, everything in the earth, under the earth, and in the ocean will glorify God. And I thought, come on, it's a porpoise, it's a whale, how are they going to glorify God?
Yeah, a worm.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
And so as I began to study animals, I found out the unique attributes that God established in each one. The one that really set me off was I heard about a woodpecker. Now, I grew up with Woody Woodpecker, the cartoon character.
Right.
And, woodpeckers peck on wood, they eat bugs. So what? Well, I didn't know that the tongue of some of those woodpeckers is too long for the mouth. They have to use that tongue after they peck a hole in the tree. They have to use their tongue to reach into the tree and down to find the bug that they are after. They spear it with some barbs on the end of their tongue and pull it out. But the tongue is so long, it cannot fit into the bird's mouth. So what does he do with it? I mean, you've never seen a woodpecker flying around with his tongue flapping in the wind.
Right.
What happens to it? Well, as I investigated, I learned that they wrap their tongue around their neck, take the tip, and put up the right nostril. Who would have thought of that?
What? Yeah. I didn't know that.
And that's the exact quote that we get from so many adults who read these books. I didn't know that. I didn't know this. I didn't know that. And that's the one that set me onto a journey of discovery.
Go
ahead.
So are these books for adults?
They are for adults, but they are in a children's format. So an adult can read them to their kids while the kids enjoy the pictures. And we put beautiful color into each picture. I had a caricature artist to do each of the animals so that it would be appealing to kids and adults. But the information up above each animal tells you the unique values that God put inside each one. For instance, there is one bug that eats through its feet and breathes through its butt.
Oh, no.
Figure. And I just read this past week in a science magazine that scientists are now working on making that possible for people. I kid you not, that they will be able to breathe through where they sit down.
Oh, wow.
Amazing.
That is amazing. I remember one of the ones that really caught my mind is that when I was going through one of your books is the fish that swims up, and if it sees a bug on a branch or whatever, it'll actually come out of the water and spit water at it like a squirt gun and knock that bug off and then eat it.
That's right. And not only can they come up to the water surface, break it, and spit, they can stay under the surface, and somehow that little fish brain calculates where they need to spit because of the refraction in the light. The bug
Mm.
is not where their eyes tell them it is.
Oh,
But they have figured that out. Absolutely amazing.
it is. And so tell us about who Safari Sam is. That's a character that's consistent throughout all of your books, and you have at least 10 of them now, and I know you've got more in the works. Tell us where Safari Sam came from.
Safari Sam was just an idea that the kids need somebody they can relate to, not just see an animal. But so Safari Sam became a consistent, almost like a zookeeper.
Okay.
And he's somebody that can introduce the animal, talk about it, and make surprise visits here and there. He's not on every page, but he's on a lot of them. But he makes a great in-between person between the child and the animal. So
Yeah, when I love the idea that he's really kind of giving a tour, or he's almost like the role of a narrator, but he's not a narrator. That's really kind of helping the reader continue further and explore.
that's right.
Another thing that I found fascinating is I shared this with my grandchildren, and they started to coin because he likes it, because he likes it, and they start to look at the world differently. So, is that what you hope for?
Absolutely. This all started with glorifying God, the animals doing that and playing their role. And so, as I look back at scripture, I found that not only did Jesus make everything, he made it according to his will. He
Mhm.
willed it. Now, that's not willpower, like there's a brownie left over. Oh, my willpower
Yes,
is trying to resist.
we all know that one, right?
Yeah. This is he willed with his mind, his heart, his very being. He wanted it that way. Or if he did it that way, it would please him. Well, then that means he did it because he liked it.
Yeah.
And so, why did God create a certain kind of goat that can climb on the most narrow ledges up hundreds of feet high? And he goes places I wouldn't even dare without a seatbelt and a crane to hold on to.
Right.
Why did God do that? Because he liked it. All things were made by him, through him, and most importantly, for him.
Yeah.
All of these things are for him. He designed them because he liked them.
So you've got a couple of the books there in hand. Tell me how
Yes.
they differ. Show the audience your books there and tell them a
Okay.
little bit about how they differ, just as
All
an
right.
example.
Well, this is the first one because he liked it 101 glimpses of God's glory in the animal world. And it does have 101 pictures throughout and narrations about what each animal is like, what the characteristics are. And we just titled it because he liked it. And on the first try, the artist I had said, We've been meeting every week at a Chick-fil-A for me to narrate, him to draw. He said, how many of these do you want? And I said, 101. He
Hmm.
said, how many do we have? I said, I don't know. He said, well, count them. So we counted 139.
Oh
He
boy.
said, he said, you've got 38 too many. We have to take 38 out. And I said, no, no, no. Let's just add 63 more to it, and we'll have another 101. And so that brought about the second book, because he liked it, to Crocs Eat Rocks. There is a variety of crocodile that eats rocks. And I can only imagine in my thinking that God, when he made the crocodile, said, I have a good idea for you. When you get hungry and you go out into the water to eat, I want you to stop on the shoreline and eat. He thinks, good, I'm ready to eat before I go eat. He said, well, yeah, but you're going to eat rocks. He said, "What? Crocs eat rocks? Why would I do that?" God may have well imagined three reasons for doing it. Number one, he has no ballast in his stomach, so he would tend to be out in the river and just floating the entire body upright like this or all flat like this.
Mhm.
If a wave came by, he would turn over and drown, and that's not a good idea. But if he eats rocks, then this part of his body, where his stomach is, weighs down, and he sits upright in the water.
Hmm.
Secondly, God gave him the ability to chomp food, but not to chew it. You will never see the gators chewing their food like you chew bubble gum. So how do they churn up the food so the body can digest it? The rocks in the stomach tumble and churn and tear up that food that he just chomped and swallowed so that he can digest it. And thirdly, he likes to lay on the bottom of the river because it's nice and cool. But you cannot stay there without a weight belt.
Hmm.
It's in the same way you can't stay in the bottom of a swimming pool, you'll eventually rise up. So would he. But God says if you eat the rocks, they will weigh you down and you can stay there until you want to leave. So crocs eat rocks for three reasons. So that brought about book two. But God had then made me attuned to always looking for new animals, new creatures, new characteristics. And so then came book three, book four, book five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. And you are right, we are working on some more after that. But we've also made some for the older kids. I know that when the older kids see the younger ones reading books like this and enjoying it, that the older ones are going to want some information. So we made one called the Earth and Cosmos, or just Cosmos for short. And we've done another that's being worked on for the human body, another one coming on the microscopic world. And then there's still one more about humanity. How do human bodies work? But besides
Well,
that,
and don't forget, you've got the one about plants,
the
and
one about plants, yes.
which is amazing. And the artistry in these books, tell us about those. They're so much different than the than Crocs Eat Rocks.
Oh, yes. These are realistic. They are hand drawn and they were done in watercolors originally by
Hmm.
a young lady up in Canada. I don't recall who recommended her to me, but I've considered myself blessed ever since. The
Hmm.
drawings are so realistic, so glorious that they capture your attention while you
They're
read and learn what God put into each of those plants. And
really amazing.
yeah, and as usual, there are 101. 101 plants, animals, human body conditions, cosmos conditions in each and every book.
Yeah. So the beautiful part of it is it's an opportunity for adults to learn, but also more importantly is to put an appreciation of God's glory in our children. Um, Something, that sticks with them. I think to myself, I grew up in Sunday school like so many people did, and all the things that we learned, whether it was the cute little songs or the Bible stories that we learned or whatnot, it became seed that lay dormant in me until I came of age and the Holy Spirit revealed to me who he was. And then all of a sudden that seed just came to life. The memories of all of those things, everything just came back to life.
Mhm.
And so, for those that would purchase and read these books to their children, to their grandchildren, um, you have to recognize that what you're doing is you're planting seeds here. You're planting seeds of appreciation of God's creation. You're planting seeds about the truth of who Christ is, and you're planting into them something they're going to be able to draw on for years and years. We don't have a Mutual of Omaha anymore at the Wild
Right.
Kingdom, but we do have Crocs Eat Rocks.
That's
Yeah.
right. Uh, and each one of these pages starts with the phrase, "Why did God do that?" So every page draws your attention back to God. And once you learn what he put into that animal, then your heart is refreshed. You do, in a sense, want to glorify God, and you can because you know the characteristics of what God has done to make this. And he did each and every one again because he liked it. So I've had a great fun time. I continue to learn. To this day, even as early or lately as yesterday afternoon, I found three more animals that I just couldn't resist learning about, making notes on, and we'll have those for a future book.
Wow. I'll just say that I'm privileged to be the publisher of these works. I'm so excited about what these books could do and mean to the next generations that are coming up. And so I really just love what you've done. Let me ask one other question. I noticed you had two different versions there. You had a paperback and a hardcover book.
Right.
Which one do you like and why?
I I love this one because the price is more affordable, but my heart and my eyes sing for joy when I find the hardback with
Mhm.
the glossy pictures and the feel of it. I am so delighted that you put these into hardback and paperback as well. I think they not only look great, but they feel great. They're attractive. These are the kind of pages and covers that will pull a child across a room to pick that book up. Thank
Right.
you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Again, it's just the inspiration as the entire team looked at it and tried to figure out exactly how best to convey the work that God put in you. And so it's a privilege. Gerald Robison, I so appreciate you just sharing some time with us here on the Compendium Podcast. If you would like to get a copy of any of his books, we have them as individuals, we sell them in bundles, and we even have a little plushie of Safari Sam. So you can do a combination of that. It makes an incredible gift item for Christmas, for birthdays, for any special occasion. It's just an incredible gift item. I think what you'll find out is once your kids begin to read it, they're going to want more and more and more. Those hardcovers, especially, become a keepsake. They're the kind of thing that ends
Yeah.
up on the shelf. They're more durable. They're going to last a longer period of time, and they're even something that you can hand down year after year. I know that some of the most special toys that my boys have from now that they're in their 40s, the most special books and toys are those that have been able to hang on all these years later. And so I just encourage you to check those out. You can find a link to purchase that right down here, or maybe it's up here. Just depends on the site you're looking at. And we want to get a copy in your hand right away. Gerald, thank you so much for
Yeah.
being with us.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it, and I love the work that you put into this. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. All right. Until next time, may God bless each and every one of you.